Kira,
What?
so I have a plan. So I'm going to start a new account. Or not a new account, a new character.
Okay.
We are going to play together and make money.
Okay.
Now, to make it more interesting, I want you to basically choose my path I'm going to go down in the game.
Oh, God.
So I want you to choose anything out of this list. Just one.
I kind of like the sound of the arcade.
Okay. That works. Dude, she's got baller tattoos. She has the same tattoos as my character. God damn. So for the start of this new character on day 1, well, I basically had to make the new character. I can't really start the video if I don't have a new character. So that's what I did. I made a new character and it's a female. And if you're going to ask why I had a female character, I don't know. I promise I'm not that horny. It's not true. And it wasn't too eventful making the character. You can't do a whole lot with it. I tried to give it the best stats I could. I tried to give him some clothes that are pretty good. And of course I named it Big Mike. And so with my character created and Big Mike ready to go into Los Santos, we loaded in. And unfortunately I had all of my money for my main character. So I had to switch over to my main character, spend all my money. I went all the way down to $0 for that new character so no people can be like, you started out with a lot of money. Well, there you go. I'm officially flat broke in GTA Online. So going back over to my new character, the first thing I thought about doing was selling a vehicle. I mean, I think that's the most obvious thing you can do if we're starting out to make just the smallest amount of money. And so the first car I saw on the road was a Phoenix, and I went to go ahead and try and sell that. On my way to Los Angeles Customs, though, I found a Fusillade instead, because I thought that would have sold for more, but I really don't know what vehicles sell well. So when I sold the Fusillade, that was about $3,600 to my name. And of course, because I'm an American, I went straight to the gun store. And I don't know what I was expecting. I couldn't really buy anything. I was low level and had only $3,000. I did get a free shotgun, though, which is pretty cool. And then after that, I was trying to buy the special carbine, which you unlock at level 1, and it's a really good weapon to get early on. And it's about $15,000. And there was one thing I wanted to do before anything else, which is look for an upgraded vehicle on the road that can spawn at very rare occasions, which is an upgraded Sentinel. Some of you might be familiar with this vehicle because I feel like it was just one of those things back in the day that you tried to find because they were rare, and unfortunately after 5 minutes I gave up because I just didn't want to wait around anymore. So what I tried to do instead, to make it spiced up a little bit, is do a Cluck and Bell. Finish Kira's Cluck and Bell in particular, because she actually already had one started. And she only had 3 more setups to do, which was stealing some weapons, stealing a vehicle, and sabotaging the cartel. Like, I know it's called disorganized crime, but I really don't know how to explain it to people that don't know what it is. As I started the first setup, which is stealing some weapons, there's 3 different targets. There's A, B, and C. Now, I always go for the A target all the time because it doesn't really matter. As long as you hit headshots, you're good. And I had to use the starting pistol because I had nothing else to do. And for some reason, Kira parked like an entire block away instead of running to the destination. She's an interesting character in this game. But we didn't really struggle too much with this because it's not a hard setup to do. You just take out a couple of dudes. And since it's the lowest target, there's not a whole lot of resilience. Got the equipment out of the back of the car and got the other equipment, I believe, which was just the weapons and stuff like that. And it's just literally just as simple as that. We got back to Vincent's lockup or whatever, and that was that setup done. Very simple. Now, next up was stealing a vehicle. And again, there's 3 different targets, A, B, and C. And for this one, I always go to B because it always has the most well-rounded vehicle in the game. In this mission, not in the game. And again, we didn't really have any struggle with this. We just went over there, took out some dudes, and, you know, it was pretty simple. We can just ignore me dying here, though. That didn't happen, alright? Just don't worry about it. And whatever this semi was doing here, I also don't know what happened here. And so we just got that mission finished, and I was finally level 4. It didn't help me in any way, because it doesn't do anything for you when you're level 4. Now, finally starting the final mission will determine if the final heist is in stealth or aggressive. At the start of the mission, you have to hack 2 separate vans. Very easy. You can sometimes die if you're not paying attention, but these guys are relatively easy to hack. Once those are done, we have to go over to the cartel garage. And in here, we had to do some business. We had to draw some lockboxes, get the key card, and escape the cartel. Pretty simple. And now it's time for the final heist. And the heist is fairly easy. Take out some more dudes, open some doors, steal some powder, steal some more powder, open an office, find some more codes, enter the code into a safe because that's what you do, and then simply leave. I know I'm making this look really easy, but trust me, it is just that easy. Now, upon finishing this heist as a crew member, you only make 50k, which is very unfortunate. Only the host actually makes the big money at the end, which is 500,000. But I really only did this with Kira, so I was able to buy the special carbine. And I got level 6 too, which again doesn't help me in any way possible. Also, I did get a bonus 250k at the end too, which is pretty cool for a first time bonus. So we're at 300K now, which is pretty cool. Get that shit out of here. So day 2, I immediately started off with buying my first high-end apartment and my first car. I don't know if you'd really consider it a buying a car because it was free, but I still had transportation and a spawn location now, so I don't have to rely on Kira for everything, which is great. And we gotta do something else for my new character here. We gotta change the outfit to something that's more fitting of a successful criminal. Sport mode Crocs with a mustache t-shirt. It's great. This outfit was amazing. This was not my original plan at first until I found out there was Crocs in the game, which is fantastic. And while I was making this outfit, I got a very, very interesting text in the game. I had no idea that was even in here. For the finest girls in Los Santos, visit the Vanilla Unicorn, objectifying the female form since 1984.
Type shit.
And 5 minutes later, I finally finished my outfit and named it the 20s Baller because I thought it looked like an outfit from the 20s mixed with like modern day. I don't know what I was doing. And again, we're doing another Cluckin' Bell for this day. It's going to be the only other time, so it doesn't get too repetitive for the video. And I'm doing it so I can actually make 500K out of it this time instead of making only 50K. But now we had to do every single setup, all 5 with the actual heist itself. And the first setup involves us going to 2 separate money laundering businesses. We went together because I don't think Kira is competent enough to do it by herself.
I heard you talking shit about me.
I don't know what you're talking about. So we basically had to go over there, take out a couple of dudes, take some counterfeit money, and take out some more dudes and take some more counterfeit money. And just go back to Ventus Lockup. That mission is very simple. There's no extra steps to it. And our second mission, in my opinion, is the most boring. So it tells you to either go to a laptop or a terabyte. We always go to the laptop first because it's more convenient that way. And all you have to do is just steal a laptop behind someone's back. And Kira does that for me, so not too hard there. And we had to go over to the terabyte and take out about 10 drones. This was almost a disaster because these drones are actually pretty strong, but luckily we had the weapons to take them out fast enough, which is good. After all those are taken out, go inside the terabyte and steal the hacking device. And the last part of the mission is the most boring in my opinion. We had to go down near the bottom of the map, the dock area, and take out some more dudes once again. But once we take out enough people, we have to find a key that they drop. Easy enough. And when we have the key, we just drive the train. And since Kira had the key this time, she had to drive the train and look out for any red circles on the map. I can't show them here, but once she finds those circles, she just presses right on the D-pad to hack those so the train doesn't get slowed down. And that's the mission completed. You just have to drive the train far enough and it's done. Now, similar to before how we stole weapons in the first setup for Kira's Cluckin' Bell heist, this time we actually went to target B instead of A because I wanted to try something different for once because I always go to the same shit all the time. And this was surprisingly easy for it being out in the middle of the water on a yacht. Because the way how this mission works is you steal, I can't remember if it was the weapons or equipment in the bottom deck, underneath in the engine bay area. And once you do that, you go through a door right next to it, and that basically leads you to the room that you need to get the equipment from, or the weapons, whatever it is. And it's just perfect. It perfectly lines up, and it's just really easy to do it. And we had really no problems with this mission at all. And so we just went back to Vincent, confirmed all the weapons and all that stuff, and that setup finished. And stealing the vehicle was pretty much the exact same thing. We even got the exact same car. Not really any difference there to show you. Besides me dying, of course. Now, the last setup wasn't actually really any different either. This time, we actually tried to stealth it. We failed because I didn't really know what I was doing. So we had to take out everybody. And while I was AFK, Kira actually wiped the cameras that were in there to show that we were not there and show the guards in the actual heist that there was nothing going on. Which I didn't know that all you had to do was wipe the cameras and take out everyone in there in time, and the final heist would be in stealth. I didn't know that. I wish I knew that ahead of time. But now you know for the future. Thanks, me. Now, loading into the final heist once again, we were now in stealth mode, and I have never done this before, so I might have gotten distracted. Wow, it's the outside world! We're free! And there was a guy trying to kiss me when I got outside of the door, so we got alerted, which is really unfortunate, so it's just the same thing again. Take out some dudes, open some doors, steal some powder, steal some more powder, open the office, get some codes, open the safe, grab the stuff in the safe, and leave. Not that hard. It's just really simple. Once you're finished, that's home free once again. And now I have $800,000 to my name. We still have a good ways to go. Another $1 million that we have to get, unfortunately. Yo, who let me cook? I would say day 3 was definitely the most uninteresting but most frustrating day out of every single one so far. The original plan was simple. I wanted to do the bounty targets around the map that you get a text message from a random NPC, and it takes you, I think, like an hour to do all of it. I don't know. And also do the treasure hunt, which would have earned me a solid and juicy $1 million, which is what I needed. But unfortunately, that didn't go so well. The NPC that needed to text me about the bounty targets literally didn't text me after an entire hour. I just did not get the text, which was stupid. And the problem with the treasure hunt, you have to go around the map figuring out this like murder mystery, and once you finish all of it, you get access to a pistol. And if you get 50 headshots, it could be on an NPC or players, whatever it is, you would get a bonus 250,000. Unfortunately, this is locked to one character on one account. And I already did it on my main character, so I can't make the money on my new character, which is really unfortunate. So instead, what I had in mind is use Kira's $7 million that she just somehow had, I don't know where it came from, in order for me to make the last bit of money I needed. Now, I didn't want to abuse her money and give myself all the advantages I can, so what I did instead is had her buy a penthouse so we can do the Miss Baker mission, which gives us a juicy $1 million. And this was kind of a mistake. You'll see later why. And so that is pretty much what we did. She bought a penthouse and we started the casino missions. And in total, there is 6 different missions we had to complete. And for it all to make sense as to why it gives you $1 million, I'm going to explain it right now. So for 5 of the missions, they give you a first time bonus of 50,000. The 6th mission gives you a first-time bonus of 100,000. Doing them all in order, you receive 500,000. Completing them all without losing a single life gets you 50k. Yeah, fuck that. And finally, completing all of them as a crew member gives you 100,000. And that all adds up to 1 million for me. Also 1 million for her as well. And with that being explained, we can get started with the first mission. This has us rescue a man called Tao Chang. He can't speak English, which is quite unfortunate. I wanted to talk to this man. And this guy was really hard to find because he is inside of an abandoned hotel. But eventually we did find him. He's just a man in a white shirt. He means business. That, however, does come with a couple of problems getting this man. It's kind of a bitch to get around the map with no bulletproof tires, so, you know, this happened, of course. But luckily, that was the only time we died this mission. I wish I could say that for the other ones, but that was the first mission completed, so we have no problems there. The second mission was supposed to be easier, but didn't go well either. So what happens is you spawn at the casino following Vincent, and when you get towards the end, there's someone that steals the podium vehicle, which it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense how you can just drive a car out of a casino and go through the front doors. I don't know. Now this has us chase him down with the fastest bikes in the game. And this wasn't so easy. This car just spawned in front of me and okay. It only took us a couple of tries, 3 tries to be exact, and all we had to do was just get the car. Once we had it, we brought it back to the casino, and that was done. It was a pain in the ass, but it still was nowhere near the amount of struggle we had with the other missions. And would you believe the third mission was harder? Well,
I'm stuck.
somehow she just can't drive straight. I don't know what's going on here. She's just terrible at driving. But that wasn't even the hardest part. The main part of this mission has you take out a lot of people. Like a lot of guys. And of course, we died more and more times. And finally, on our 4th try, we were able to take everyone out. And this was the easy part of the mission. We just had to drive to the destination. There was a couple of helicopters chasing us. Sometimes there was guys spawning on the road. But it wasn't too big of a deal because I was just the best driver in the entire game. What didn't make a whole lot of sense, though, is the 4th mission we were doing, we didn't even die a single time. And what you have to do is go to 4 separate oil tankers on the map and destroy all of them. Really easy. I pretty much had to do all of this because Kira's car, or rather her game or controller, I don't know which one it is, was not working. Her car was going extremely slow, and it was just on her end, so I wasn't really sure what was going on there. Once we destroyed all of those, there's another area we have to go to and destroy an additional 3 oil tankers. Don't ask what's in front of me. I don't know what the hell's going on. But we literally just drove in there. No bulletproof tires, no bulletproof windows, low HP, and just destroyed all of them. We didn't even kill a single guy. They were just all shooting at us at all angles. And once we destroyed all 3 of them, the mission was over. But it wasn't hard. I wish I could say that for the other ones once again. And we only had 2 more missions left to do. And the 5th mission has us take out a bunch of mercenaries on top of the casino. And this was an absolute disaster.
Come back to me at the elevator. Well,
But once we were able to take out everyone, the mission was over. I didn't really show it because, once again, it's just taking out a lot of guys. There's not much to that. I'm sure everyone watching this has seen gameplay of people shooting people in GTA 5. Let me make sure that's said correctly, not in real life. But now we're on the last mission, and don't even get me started. Don't even ask me in the comments how this went, because I will ignore you. Now this final mission has us take out Avery and the rest of his bodyguards, and doing this stealthy was pretty much our only option here, because when you alert all the guards, you get absolutely demolished. I think we failed about 6 or 7 times in this mission, which was not fun to do in the slightest. But in the end, I was able to take out just about every single guard and camera stealthily, and at the end of the mission, I mean, you just have to take him out in the Menacer, I think that's what the car is called. And once you blow up his helicopter, that is the mission over. It was definitely the biggest pain in the ass I've ever had to deal with in GTA, but we got it done in the end, which is good. And after all of that, I was finally able to buy my arcade, and that brings the first episode to a close. If you want to see part 2, subscribe.